Musk is a pathological liar. He's a criminal. He's a sociopath and a ghoul.
Cannot say that someone like Elon Musk is an intellectual. Really what he's up to is...
Wait, did you catch that? Major network pundits are literally on live television calling the first trillionaire in history a Nazi and a sociopath, and the sheer panic is incredible. You cannot look away from this.
Is, you know, snorting ketamine and tweeting at all hours of the day and night.
The guy's a joke, right? He really is a joke. The more I hear him talk, I'm astonished at how dumb Elon Musk is. But look at what he did with SpaceX and Starlink and all these companies. He's got to be somewhat intelligent. The more I hear him talk, the more I'm like, holy fucking shit. This dude tripped over his dick and became successful.
Look at the absolute meltdown happening right here. The sheer level of vitriol and unfiltered rage coming from these commentators is staggering. They aren't even trying to offer a coherent economic critique anymore. They're just throwing out the most extreme inflammatory insults they can think of, calling him a ghoul, a criminal, and claiming he just tripped into building the most valuable companies on Earth. It perfectly illustrates how broken the mainstream media narrative has become. When you have a guy landing reusable rockets, building global internet networks, and single-handedly revolutionizing the automotive and space industries, and the only response the pundit class has is to accuse him of being an unintelligent joke snorting ketamine, it shows a massive disconnect from reality. They are absolutely terrified of his success because it completely shatters their worldview that you need the government to innovate. It's pure, unfiltered envy broadcasted to millions.
Being a freeloader, and a selfish and disrespectful one, and for misappropriating Black vernacular for misogynistic purposes, Elon Musk is the absolute worst.
The world's richest freeloader evidently has a very thin skin.
Elon Musk kind of turned out to be and I don't want to be driving a car built and designed by
Elon Musk is incompetent. He's incompetent. He's a thief. He's a nut.
Notice the highly coordinated talking points in this massive montage. It's like they all received the exact same email memo on how to attack him. Calling him a freeloader is especially ironic when you consider the sheer scale of the tax revenue his companies generate and the tens of thousands of highly paid jobs he's created across the country. They try to paint him as this uniquely evil figure who is somehow stealing from the public, when in reality, he built his massive wealth by creating innovative products that millions of people willingly buy and use every day. The desperation to label him a white supremacist or accuse him of misappropriating culture is just a classic, transparent character assassination tactic. When politicians and media elites realize they can't control someone's cultural influence, their absolute default strategy is to completely destroy their public image using buzzwords and manufactured outrage bait. It is entirely predictable.
A lot of energy in the room. You can tell that there is applause, excitement, hugs, smiles. I mean, there are a lot of employees who started here day one in 2002.
That's total bullshit. Nobody should be a trillionaire. Right now, we've got way too much wealth concentrated with the tiniest group of people. And what we need to do is tax the wealth.
And so they've been waiting for this moment. I spoke to two engineers here who said their compensation package was 100% equity. They didn't even have any salary. So for them, this is the moment. They actually get to make it big and also think about what's next for them.
Elon Musk is a white supremacist who believes in things like Oh boy. I wasn't even finished the sentence.
You may need a lawyer.
I asked that one of the IT engineers who is going to be making over $10 million whether he plans to retire. He said no, he has so much pride.
Did you catch the massive, glaring contrast in this clip? On one hand, you have thousands of regular, hardworking SpaceX employees literally cheering on the trading floor because their company equity just turned them into multimillionaires overnight. And then it immediately cuts to a sitting politician in an office declaring the whole thing total bullshit. This is the ultimate, undeniable exposure of the political class. They claim to champion the working class, but the exact moment blue-collar welders and IT engineers actually strike it rich through the private sector, they immediately demand it be heavily taxed and redistributed. It proves that their relentless outrage isn't actually about helping regular people succeed. It's about making absolutely sure nobody gets too powerful or independent outside of their political control. You can literally see the deep resentment in her face over the simple fact that private innovation is creating unprecedented wealth without her permission. Okay, now look at the actual receipts presented on the screen right here. While these very same politicians are taking to the television cameras to scream about how unfair and greedy billionaires are, their own financial disclosures look exactly like this. We are looking at members of Congress perfectly timing the stock market, buying defense and tech stocks right before major, highly lucrative government contracts are officially awarded. It is the most blatant, legalized insider trading you will ever see. They sit on exclusive armed services and intelligence committees, get classified briefings on what the military is about to do, and then immediately dump their money into the exact companies that benefit the most. This right here is why their very public outrage over Elon Musk is completely performative. They use his massive success as a giant flashing distraction to keep the public angry and divided, while they quietly enrich themselves using restricted information that would easily send a regular citizen straight to federal prison.
Compare Elon Musk's wealth to country's GDP. Look at this. Less than Musk, 170. More than Musk, 21. That means his wealth, he has more wealth than the country GDPs of 170 countries. My goodness gracious. It's a lot of money, Erin.
It's really actually deeply unsettling. I have to say, I think just in the context, I think it's just, it's not a good thing.
For a lot of people, it's very unsettling.
Okay.
Look closely at the body language of the CNN anchor right here. She looks genuinely disturbed, calling his historic net worth deeply unsettling. They are intentionally putting up these massive graphics comparing his personal wealth to the GDP of entire developing countries to make it seem like he is hoarding the world's cash supply like a comic book villain. But what they conveniently fail to explain to their audience is that this isn't a giant swimming pool of liquid gold coins. It's entirely unrealized equity. It's the current stock valuation of companies that are actively building massive rockets, electric vehicles, and global internet infrastructure. If he tried to liquidate even a small fraction of that stock, the entire market would crash instantly. The media intentionally uses these flawed GDP comparisons purely as an emotional manipulation tactic to make the average viewer feel cheated. It is a masterclass in framing extreme success as a zero-sum game, aggressively pushing the false narrative that his wealth somehow makes you poorer.
Elon Musk is officially the world's first trillionaire. Think about that. We're living in a time when more and more people are just hanging on by their fingernails to survive in this economy. And Elon Musk has more money and more wealth than anyone in human history. I want to be clear. This is not just some fluke. It is a feature of a rigged economy. Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill cut healthcare for millions of Americans to give guys like Elon bigger tax breaks. The tax code rewards CEOs for firing workers and replacing them with AI. Loopholes have allowed Jeff Bezos to pay an effective tax rate lower than a Boston public school teacher. And we are left with a country where a handful of billionaires at the top pop champagne in their $300 million yachts, while working people take on even more shifts to try to pay off their student loan debt.
Notice how she immediately pivots the entire conversation away from his actual historic accomplishments and instantly blames a rigged economy and the corporate tax code. She complains bitterly about CEOs firing workers to replace them with artificial intelligence, completely ignoring the massive reality that the very man she's attacking just minted thousands of brand new millionaires within his own workforce. It's a beautifully crafted political speech, perfectly designed to hit every single emotional trigger point for her base, focusing on student loans, healthcare, and public school teachers. But the entire argument completely falls apart when you apply basic economic logic. She is essentially arguing that it is a massive tragedy for the private sector to create $1 trillion in new, world-changing economic value simply because the federal government doesn't get to confiscate all of it. This whole bizarre sequence just goes to show that in modern politics, aggressively punishing success is always way more popular than actually encouraging it. Hit subscribe if you want more deep dives exposing the real hypocrisy they try to hide. See you next time.